Now, give me a second here. Raiders about to get into the GMR boys. Now, if you have a beer, you might want to grab it because this is going to be entertaining. Mind you, Raider was an NCO in the Marine Corps. I hope I said that right. Corps.
Corps is in 2 battalions because that's originally what was commissioned.
Okay. I'm a civilian.
I know, you're a civilian. But corpse? That's a dead body, dude. What are you trying to say? We're all dead? Well,
one side, maybe.
To get to the facts first, or at least what has come out as the facts, the Green Mountain Rangers are a team out of New York, and this last weekend, all weekends, at Lion Claws, they managed to get themselves banned from not only Lion Claws games, but Black Sheep's games, Black Sheep 6, Mind Game Productions, and American Milsim, who are the big four. Moreover, they've managed to get themselves banned by U.S. Joint Task Force, Mid-Atlantic Airsoft Players Registry, and Insanity Productions as well. A lot of this was due to hit calling issues, which were a big one even back when I started getting more serious into airsoft.
How long have these guys been around?
These guys have been around a while. When I started getting more serious, this is when the fuck ups started happening. They also disrespected Colonel McKnight. Apparently, he tried to pull him aside and talk to him, and the guy kind of shrugged it off. When they were told to leave, they responded with some very smart ass comments like "deuces, bitches" and shit like that. They also broke some other field rules, which are broken. They broke windows at some games. There are videos of them rappelling, which is highly dangerous. I mean,
these fags are rappelling.
Yeah, these guys go fucking overboard. I've heard stories of them bringing up Suburbans, and then when they're told no, they walk. They pack up their pretty little toys and fucking leave. And apparently, there was also some issues with them jumping around on roofs. Which, if you figure, a lot of these places like Lion Claws this year was held at George Air Force Base, which used to be an active Air Force base, is no longer used. They were playing on some of the no longer used base housing. And
hardcore parkour. Hopefully, someone will get that reference. Yeah.
Moreover, when Lion Claws banned them, they specified that they can appeal if they quit GMR, and they are put on a probationary status for a year as determined by the staff. Now, and to add to the worst of this, and this is, in my opinion, the worst of it, is apparently there are allegations flying around that they're using, that some of them were using illicit substances at the field, which is a big fucking no-no. You're dealing with replica weapons. Why are you going to do it high?
Honestly, I think that's the least of the worries.
Yeah, but even you don't mix beer and nobody mixes beer. Nobody in their right mind. Let me rephrase that because I know some that would. Nobody in their right mind mixes any kind of substance that alters the consciousness and anything that looks like a firearm.
Yeah, definitely. No, don't do that.
Yeah, I mean that's like big no-no. And I mean, my question to y'all is, what the fuck took you guys so goddamn long to get rid of these assholes if they're pulling this shit?
Yeah, I mean, these fucking players. I mean, honestly, I'm not, bashing gays or anything. It'd be much more productive use of and respectable use of their time if they just stayed home all day and jerked each other off. And we usually don't come at teams like this. There's some other assholes in this region that I'm not going to name names because they've had good days and bad days. These guys you only have bad days with. Oh,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we lifted a rule at my organization, SEPA. We're now openly bashing them on the forums. When before, when their fucking fanboys would come on and talk wonderful things about them, we would censor their name, even when they were saying good things, because seriously, fuck them. The fact that they have fanboys, and I'm going on their Facebook, like, I used to respect you guys. Are you fucking serious? They come up with all this expensive gear. I've got some expensive gear on layaway. I know plenty of guys that have expensive
shit.
And they don't
shit doesn't make you a goddamn player.
No, and they don't have,
it just makes you somebody with too much fucking money to burn.
Yeah, and they didn't make these gay-ass YouTube videos. They didn't even, like, flocking around like, oh, I got a $2,000 gun. No, it was just, they would just show up, play, and leave. And I might say, like, oh, is that a Polar Star? And I'm like, yeah. And then we'll get into a conversation. They're not like, yeah, I'm fucking tactical and all this bullshit.
Yeah.
Seriously, fuck them.
Seriously, if my message is, if they're listening, first off, you aren't funny, because the people that have been coming to you and going, what the fuck? You've been replying with you've been replying with bullshit comments and just hiding. It's like, this is funny. This isn't funny. You broke safety rules. You not only endangered yourselves, which personally, you guys take yourselves out of the fucking gene pool. You're doing the fucking world a goddamn favor. But you fucked around with everybody else's goddamn safety, which is going to get me heated. Second off, you disrespect a decorated veteran on Memorial Day.
Ah, fuck that shit.
That's I'm glad that it wasn't. I'm glad it wasn't a former Marine, because there are probably a number of us that would probably take you out back for some goddamn tree line counseling.
Yeah, that way, no violence implied there.
Oh,
we just want to use harsh language.
Oh no! I mean, there are probably, like I said, there are some I know.
Yeah.
I can remember patching up guys at 2 a.m. because one of our females got beat around by her husband, and after we did everything we could, okay, fine, let's all of you who are above the rank of corporal, you come with me. And the idiot decided to pull a knife.
No. Yeah, Marines,
we don't fuck around.
Yeah, Marines kill people. I mean, like blacksmiths, they
hammer mail.
They hammer wood. Mailman delivers mails.
Marines kill people.
Marines fucking kill people. You don't want to disrespect those people.
And I mean, it's bullshit that they got away with it this long. That's the fucking part that I can't get over. They got away with it for how many years?
Oh God, yeah.
You're talking. I started hearing comments about them. 8 years ago?
Really, 8 years? What the?
And the sad part about it is, it's gotten across the frickin' pond. I had to sit down and have a long conversation with with a number of good friends in England, going, guys, you ain't the only ones that hate these guys. We've been hating them for years.
I've never fucking watched their YouTube videos because I don't want to give them hits because they got that shit monetized and you're just helping them.
That's how they afford their alleged coke habit.
How many views do they get?
And shit like that.
How many views do they get?
I don't know. I don't pay attention. Not to a bunch of elitist douchebags like that. Yeah, I don't fucking click on it. Because I get the fanboys on the forums, and they post up links and shit like, oh, look at these guys, are so cool. And then they go out and spend a couple $100 on a loadout that they don't know how to use, and all because of these douchebags. I'm like, really? Fuck these guys. I mean, if you're going to get gear, when I drop $100 on a plate carrier, it's because it's fucking good. Not because I saw some douchebag on YouTube buying it. It's ridiculous, and I really hope these guys get into reviewing some load carrying gear. But it's cool. It's cool shit. It doesn't make you cool. You just have cool shit. Like, oh, your shit's cool. You're a douchebag, but your shit's cool. I wouldn't even give them that. That's probably how they got around it. Is oh well, it's good for the sponsors. It's good for our. It's good for our sponsors' sales, so we gotta... No. This is a game of honor. When people break that code, you nip it right then and there. You put the kibosh on that
Zero
shit.
Tolerance.
And that's the whole point.
No. The only people that get tolerance is like kids. that need that way they can at least learn honor, because sometimes you have to learn it. If these guys knew what the fuck they were doing when they were breaking these rules, breaking the honor code, they didn't need to learn it. They didn't want it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not going to doubt that one. Period. The end. That's just the way that's just the way these guys roll. They're so into their egos that it's not even funny. And I've noticed this with other teams too. I've noticed this with others.
No names.
No, I'm not naming anybody. I mean, but I've known a few individuals that
I like to give guys second chances, and my organization, we've given some guys so many chances to get their shit together, and you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm not the Christian types, but you know what? I've forgiven myself. I've forgiven people more times than I should have. I'm okay with that. These guys were fucking around for over 8 years.
Yeah.
That's not forgiveness. That's just us being stupid.
Yeah.
I'm going to speak up for the airsoft community there.
Yeah, I mean, that's it all comes down to another philosophy I learned as a non-commissioned officer. It's called police your own. Somebody, if you catch somebody, trying to pick up, trying to drive drunk, you do whatever you can to stop them. I ran into a couple of incidents in my time in, and one was obviously the girl that was getting beaten by her husband.
Yeah.
The other one being that we had a guy who got arrested over the weekend. And what had happened was his brother, he was originally from the town, had been drinking at the house. He was obviously drunk, trying to drive home. Two of them got into a fist fight. He got arrested.
Yeah.
Now, when it was brought to our attention, why'd you beat on your brother? Because he was trying to drive drunk.
That's a good excuse. I mean, I've been in a situation where I got... Man, since we're already getting, dark and serious on this podcast now, I've been in a situation where I got behind the wheel of a car, and it was because someone told me to get in it, and they said, wait at the front of the gate, and I just kept going. Luckily, I only drove about maybe a quarter mile, and I stopped at a Wawa, but, I wish somebody had just been like, dude, don't get in your fucking car.
I mean,
I wish someone had driven with me to the gate and made sure I stood there, but I ended up, buying some bread, soup, shit that, makes you less drunk, and I wish somebody had just been like, don't get in your fucking car, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
that if you have to punch a guy in the face to keep him from doing shit like that, that's respectable.
You figure... your
we're talking
insurance.
About GMR.
Yeah, well, we were talking about GMR, and we were using the analogy about policing your own.
Yeah, analogy, policing your own honor. If you got to punch a guy in the face to keep him from doing something bad, you know what? That's respectable. That's honorable. These guys would get punched in the face because they're douchebags.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't condone that kind of violence. I'm the anti-vindictive type. Just, you can do other things, like humiliate them like we're doing now.
I mean, it's like when I started playing, 13 years ago. We didn't have half the problems we have now. And it was more underground at the time. Usually what would happen is, if you were new, you usually wound up running with one of the guys who'd been around a while. He was usually a military veteran himself. So you learned something.
Yeah.
And you carried that. And I guess maybe it's just more reinforced in me because, after my airsoft, I decided to do it for real, I guess, is the best way you could say it. But I mean, these guys spit in everybody's face, and I can understand John Liu being willing to let them back, but personally, I'd tell them, just sell your shit and get the fuck out. Go play Call of Duty or something. Go circle jerk each other on Call of Duty. I really don't care.
Yeah, and believe me, I'm an anti-establishment motherfucker. I would never pull shit like that. Because these guys have been places, it doesn't matter what they were fighting for, what they were doing. They've been places, you don't necessarily have to respect that, but you don't have to be an asshole.
Yeah.
And that kind of shit does bother me, because you know what? I'm not that kind of person.
Person's deeds and intent rather than even if you can't respect what they fought for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that I can absolutely, and Raiders here.
Yeah.
So obviously, I'm not a complete asshole, even though I claim to be an anti-establishment motherfucker. This is my beliefs, and you know what? I respect everyone's beliefs, and these guys clearly don't. They do their own thing, and if someone has a problem with it, they just say "fuck you." And that's you don't do shit like that. You know, grow the fuck up. Seriously.
No.
And fucking doing drugs while you're playing. I mean.
If
don't
you
do that
are,
shit.
because, like I said, it's allegations. Nobody's been able to confirm it yet.
And we're talking cocaine here. That's pretty serious.
Yeah, I mean...
So I don't want to... Even as bad as these fuckers are, I don't want to be like, he's a cokehead. No, we don't know. But...
If you are, go get yourself some goddamn rehab. Yeah. You'll become a happier person that way.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a people problem. I'm not going to bash somebody for that just because I know people that have... been in rehab and shit, and that's hard
like
to get off.
Addiction is a disease, but like I said, my dad's a psych nurse. He's worked on the dual diagnosis unit. I know there were all the people crazy. They were also a drug addict. So yeah, I mean, I can completely empathize with somebody who falls into the wrong crowd, but you're mixing it and you're mixing things that look like firearms enough that you could get shot by a cop if you pulled it on him.
Yeah, that's the big issue that I'm empathetic towards. But the biggest issue is just this is a sport of honor, and you have these assholes in it. That's
pimple on the asshole of life.
We don't need that. And like you've been saying, and like you've wanted to get, like Raiders wanted to get into this for is, shit's going. I don't want to say it's going downhill with airsoft because, in the case, they're trying to get it banned in California. They're failing, and there's a reason for that, is because this is a serious sport. And it's completely honor-based, and that's what is amazing. When I was a paintball player, I'm like, airsoft, people don't realize in paintball, there's a shit ton of cheaters. We call them wipers, and they're good at what they do. They really go out of their way to cheat. In airsoft, you don't need to go out of your way. And these assholes are bringing the kind of players and I don't want to accuse... They're
bringing the caliber of players we don't want. They're bringing those who think that because they spent their money, they're entitled to, they're entitled to their they're entitled to 42 kills and no deaths or whatever.
Yeah, they're entitled to their kill streak, which is no
horseshit.
Bullshit.
That's complete and total horseshit. I'm not even going to insult the bull that way.